Day 8 of 30. Superposition. The best version of you is not a different person. It is the real you observed clearly, integrated fully, and no longer ruled by the shadow. 30 days for the rest of your life. Day 8. For 7 days, we have been removing noise, gratitude, connection, love, the village, mistakes, avoidance, breath. Today we ask the question underneath all of it. Who are you? Not your resume, not your worst day, not your best day, not the version your friends see, not the version your enemies describe, not the version you present to the world. You. Maybe some of the things that did not work out did not fail because the universe was against you. Maybe they failed because you were not fully present inside your own life. You were running, performing, controlling, blaming, hiding, trying to force reality into the shape you believed it should take. The mask was present. The shadow was present. But the real you, somewhere underneath. You cannot build a real life with a fictional version of yourself. The superposition. Quantum mechanics gives us a useful metaphor. Before measurement, a quantum system can be described as a superposition of possible states. That does not mean every contradiction in ordinary life is literally quantum mechanics. That is where physics ends and metaphor begins. But as a way of understanding ourselves, it is powerful. We desperately want people to be one thing, good or bad, strong or weak, winner or loser, hero or villain, faithful or flawed. Human beings do not work that way. You are a superposition. Winner, loser, veteran, civilian, leader, follower, Christian, doubter, asshole, friend, rule holder, rule breaker, teacher, student, victim, cause, protector, someone who needed protecting, the person who got it right, the person who completely failed, all contained inside one human life. The mistake is believing one state erases all the others. It does not. You can be the best father and have been a terrible husband. You can be an incredible mother and struggle with addiction. You can save someone's life and hurt someone you love. You can be someone's greatest source of love and, while dysregulated and afraid, become one of the greatest sources of stress in their life. You can be courageous in one environment and terrified in another. You can lead hundreds and struggle to lead yourself. You can love God and still become angry with him. You can know exactly what someone else should do and have no idea what to do with yourself. Both. The ego hates that. It wants a clean story. I am the good guy. Maybe. But good people do bad things. I am the victim. Maybe. But victims can hurt people too. I am the strong one. Maybe. But strong people break. The answer is not choosing whichever identity feels better. The answer is observing all of them. Observe the shadow. You cannot change what you refuse to see. If you cannot admit, I was wrong, you cannot correct course. If you cannot admit, I am afraid, fear operates invisibly. If you cannot admit, I am angry. Anger starts making decisions while you call them logic. If you cannot admit, I am trying to control this because I do not feel safe, you may confuse control with love. If you cannot admit, I am hurting, you will eventually find something else to blame. This is the shadow. The shadow does not require you to be evil. It only requires you to remain unconscious. Do not look at me. That is all it needs, because what is not observed cannot be integrated. And what is not integrated eventually begins to drive. Day 6 taught us to sit with it. Today we take off the mask. Outside, I'm fine. Inside, I'm terrified. Outside, I don't care. Inside, please don't leave. And outside, I'm in control. Inside, everything feels like it is collapsing. Outside, they are the problem. Inside, I know there are things I need to change. That distance between the mask and the real person costs energy. Eventually, something escapes. Anger, control, avoidance, rumination, obsessive checking. The desperate attempt to create certainty outside because there is no peace inside. Clinical OCD is a real condition, not merely a lack of inner peace or self-control, but many of us use repetitive checking, reassurance seeking, control, and rumination to quiet uncertainty. The cruel part is that they can strengthen the cycle. Control temporarily reduces anxiety. So the mind learns, we survived because we controlled it. Do it again. The cage gets smaller. Peace does not come from controlling every variable. Peace comes from knowing you can remain steady when you cannot. You control one person. This may be one of the most liberating truths in the entire 30 days. You do not control her. You do not control him. You do not control your children, your parents, your boss, the market, the judge, the weather, whether someone forgives you, whether someone returns, or what people say about you. You do not even completely control which thoughts appear in your mind, but you have enormous influence over one thing. What you do next, that is your territory, your response, your honesty, your effort, your boundaries, your behavior, your next decision, your next breath, your next step. We spend enormous amounts of energy trying to control things outside our jurisdiction while neglecting the one thing actually assigned to us, us. This truth is uncomfortable because it removes one of our favorite escapes, blame. If everything is someone else's fault, nothing is your responsibility. But responsibility contains the power. You may not have caused what happened to you. You are still responsible for what you do with it. You can replay betrayal until every new relationship is convicted before trial. Replay failure until you stop trying. Replay rejection until you decide you are unlovable. You can become the jailer of your own heart, or you can begin building the path out. That does not mean depression or other mental health conditions are simple choices. Biology, trauma, circumstances, and illness are real. It means that even when you did not choose the battlefield, your next move still matters. Jailer, liberator. Sometimes both have your face. David and the whole person. The Bible does not sanitize David. That is why his story matters. King, warrior, poet, man of faith, adulterer, and responsible for arranging Uriah's death. How can those things exist in the same person? Because human beings can contain enormous light and enormous darkness. Scripture does not erase David's wrongdoing because of his greatness. It also does not erase the entirety of David because of his wrongdoing. He has to face it. That is the point. Repentance is not pretending the deed did not happen. It is turning, changing direction, making the next step the right one. You cannot change the last step. You can change the next one. 20 years of honorable actions are not erased by one terrible decision, and 20 years of honorable actions do not excuse a terrible decision either. Both are true. Your good deeds do not erase your mistakes. Your mistakes do not erase every good thing you have done. Otherwise, we return to the matrix. I am a hero, therefore I could not have been wrong. Or I was wrong, therefore my entire life was fraudulent. Both are illusions. The harder truth is, I have done extraordinary things. I have also failed. Both belong to me. Now watch what I do next. That is ownership. The soulmate paradox. You can genuinely love someone and still be terrible for their peace. That is difficult to accept. Because we assume if the love is real, the relationship should work. Not necessarily. Love and readiness are different variables. You can believe someone is your soulmate and still need distance. You can be the greatest source of love someone has experienced, and when your own soul is not at peace, become an enormous source of stress. Both can exist. Love does not excuse dysregulation. Intent does not erase impact. Separation does not automatically prove the love was false. Sometimes love means recognizing, I cannot control what you need. I can only become responsible for who I am. No chasing, no forcing, no manipulating an outcome, no demanding another person validate your transformation. Become better because better is who you choose to be. Then let reality answer the rest. The only two mirrors. Other people's opinions matter practically. Feedback matters. Consequences matter. If everyone who loves you is telling you the same uncomfortable thing, listen. But other people's opinions cannot be the final authority on your identity. Eventually, there are two mirrors you cannot escape: your own conscience and God. Can you stand in front of both without the mask? No performance. No edited story where you are always the hero. God already knows the whole thing, the good and the bad, the thing nobody knows, the thing everyone misunderstood, the love and the resentment, the courage and the cowardice, the service and the failure, the shadow and the light. Maybe prayer is not convincing God that you are worthy. Maybe it is becoming quiet enough to stop lying to yourself. When your actions, your conscience, and your faith begin moving in the same direction, something changes. Alignment. And alignment feels a lot like peace. Trusting God's path does not mean nothing is your responsibility. Maybe the closed door was not punishment. Maybe you were not ready. Maybe they were not ready. Maybe the thing you desperately wanted would have harmed you in the state you were in. Maybe you will never know. Faith is not certainty about why everything happened. Faith is moving forward without needing every answer first. Do the work, own your mistakes, tell the truth, make amends, love people. Release what you cannot control. Take the next right step. Trust God with the destination. You handle your feet. Stillness is also movement. Sometimes the next right step is sitting still, not avoidance, intentional stillness. Avoidance sits still because it is afraid to move. Reflection sits still because it wants to know where to move. Sometimes waiting is discipline. Sometimes silence is love. Sometimes the strongest action available is refusing to force something before it's time. Remember day 7. The next RV. Sometimes the RV is right here. Breathe, observe, learn, wait. Then move when it is time. The people who see the whole you. Some people love only one version of you, the successful version, the useful version, the strong version, the easy version. That is glass. The people who truly love you understand the superposition. They have seen the difficult version and the noble version, the confidence and the fear, the rule holder and the rule breaker, the warrior and the exhausted human underneath the armor. They do not excuse your worst behavior. They tell you the truth about it. But they refuse to reduce your entire existence to one observation. They see the whole person. Those people are rare. Build steel bridges with them, protect them, love them, and learn to see their superposition too, because they are not perfect either. The best version of you. People constantly talk about becoming the best version of themselves. We misunderstand it. The best version of you is not a new character. It is not the body, the money, the title, the relationship, the house, the status. It is integration. The best version of you knows exactly what you are capable of, good and bad, and consciously chooses what gets fed. The shadow is not gone. You know where it lives. Fear still exists. It just does not drive. Anger still exists. It has boundaries. Pain still exists. It becomes information. Love still exists. It is no longer possession. Faith still exists. It is no longer avoidance. You still fail. You own it faster. You still fall. You know how to stand. You still breathe one breath at a time. That is the real you, not perfect, integrated. Day 8, the message. You are not one thing. Neither am I. Nobody is. Winner and loser. Strong and afraid. Leader and student. Faithful and questioning. Rule holder and rule breaker. The person who loved beautifully. The person who hurt someone they loved. The person who saved people. The person who needed saving. Light, shadow, superposition. Stop trying to prove that only one version exists. Observe all of them, own all of them, and then choose. That is freedom. You cannot control the universe. You cannot control other people. You cannot control yesterday. You cannot guarantee tomorrow. But you can take responsibility for you. Your next breath, your next word, your next decision, your next step, when you get that step wrong. Own it, learn, reorient. Take the next one correctly, again and again and again. That is how the best version of you is built. Not through one transformation. Through thousands of observations followed by thousands of choices. One breath at a time. 30 days for the rest of your life. Day 1, gratitude. Notice what remains. Day 2, just like you. You are not uniquely broken. Day 3, dogs. Notice who needs you. Day 4, who's there when the music stops. Notice who stands in the rain. Day 5, mistake. Stop waiting for someone else to tell you you're okay. Day 6, sit with it. Stop running from what you already know. Day 7, just breathe. Get to the next breath. Day 8, superposition. Observe the whole person, then choose who drives. You are not your best deed. You are not your worst deed. You are not somebody else's favorite memory of you. You are not somebody else's worst memory of you. You are not the applause. You are not the accusation. You are not the mask. You are not the shadow. You are the one observing all of them. That is where your power has been hiding. Own everything that belongs to you. Release everything that does not. Trust God with what you cannot see. Take responsibility for what you can. Make the next step the right one. And if you do not know what the next step is, yesterday already taught us. Breathe in, observe, choose, then move. You will be many things in this life. The goal was never to become only light. The goal is to know the darkness well enough that it no longer controls you. Take off the mask. Integrate the shadow. Tell yourself the truth. Become someone capable of giving and receiving real love. Then work every day, one breath at a time, toward the best version of the real you. When your conscience, your actions, and your faith finally point in the same direction, you will stop needing the world to tell you whether you are winning. You will know. ICT. The real war is within. Ideas are bulletproof.